Welcome to the latest episode of What Did I Miss? This is an honor. I'm going to call you JB because that's what they call you, JB, because I hear y'all on the radio all the time. It's Jessica Benson joining us from the Memphis Grizzlies, also co-host of Rise and Grind. I feel like I know the whole crew there because I'm in the car more than I'm not. Memphis Grizzlies, this is the perfect day to have you on. My first question is a deep one and one I put a lot of thought into. What the hell was that last night? Grizzlies and Warriors.
Let me try to really break it down and give my capital J journalist approach on what happened. The Grizzlies don't give a flippity flip about what anyone expects them to do, what anyone thinks is going to happen. You're without your all-star point guard. Okay, you have Steven Adams sipping on oxygen in the first quarter. You've got Dylan Brooks hobbling. Desmond Bane is a new man. His back, he cracked it back open. He was ready to go out, shoot the threes. Man, I don't know what to say. I know a lot of people don't watch the Grizzlies all year because there's just not that many nationally televised games. But this is the stupid fun that this team has produced with Ja Morant, without Ja Morant, whoever's on the court. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder by 73 points earlier this year, and they made the Golden State Warriors look like the Thunder in a Western Conference semifinals game. So that's that.
I mean, this might be the first playoff game that I can remember where I just changed the channel at some point. I was like, this is awesome, except for I don't know if I can do 50 and 40 point blowouts in a playoff game. And you know what? I feel like I was guilty of this, and I'm wondering how many other people you've encountered. We know what the team was able to do during the regular season when Ja was out for 20 whatever games he was out. It was a lot of games, and they were fine. And yet, for some reason, when he got hurt during the playoffs, I had that no moment, forgetting completely what they could do. Have you noticed that a lot of people forgot about that and then were quickly reminded again last night?
Yeah, it really felt like the bottom fell out of the city. It flatlined. There was so much excitement. And this series has been so weird with all the extracurriculars anyway. So some of the fun had been sucked out along the way. And then that happens and you go into that game 4 situation at the Chase Center and the Warriors played terribly and yet they still win. And it just feels so demoralizing. And so then you have to come home. You learn Ja Morant is doubtful for the rest of the playoffs. You hear Steph Curry weaponizing your own words of whip that trick against you. And so going into FedEx Forum last night, I don't know. It just felt like, is this door closing? Is this the beginning of the end? Certainly you don't want the Grizzlies going out sad. No. But then you just had a situation, yet again, they're predictably unpredictable in the best of ways. And if you turn the channel, you didn't get to see a John Conchar dunk in the playoffs. So that's disappointing.
Those aren't words you say.
No, they are not. Of Purdue, Fort Wayne.
Wow. So the whooping of the tricks. Yes. I wrote a college thesis on whipping tricks, and I'd like to understand, A, why do I giggle every time I hear it? And B, do you think Steph went back to the locker room or at least got on the plane last night and was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have turned that one around on them? That was a mistake.
Yeah, because sometimes the trick whips you, and that's what the Warriors found out last night. And the thing about this city, Memphis in particular, I've been here 6 years now, and one of my favorite things about Memphis is that the fans, the people, just everyone, they're going to clown the hell out of you. If you say something like that and then you don't come on the court and back it up, that's why you had Al Capone himself performing whip that trick during the game, and he goes, Steph Curry in your face. In Steph Curry's face. And I know Draymond's dancing and Steph's dancing, but what else are you going to do in that situation?
The visual of Draymond looks like a kid at a birthday party. He just looks so happy to be doing that. But at the same time, I'm like, well, it's Draymond. Never trust Draymond. He's the ultimate troll. He's good at it. But then I'm thinking this was not a good idea. I don't think at all. And the fans just, I want everyone to be able to go to a game there just because it looks like they're having the most fun. And I know it's playoffs, but not every playoff team has that kind of atmosphere. Does this seem... you've been around these games. Does this seem different to you compared to some of the other teams in this thing?
Absolutely. And there's a whole collegiate vibe, period. You think about college football games and various traditions, and whether it be enter Sandman or jump around. In Memphis, you have whip that trick. And it's so bizarre and so unique, but it's people from every single walk of life. It is old people. It is young people. The crowd is so diverse here, and everybody comes together. We joked on Rise and Grind this morning on Grind City Media. I was like, is this the new Kumbaya? Because Draymond Green after the game said, we're all going to come together and do whip that trick together. And I'm like, all right, hold hands, whip that trick. This is the unifying moment that we've all been waiting for. But no, it's it's just different here. You can't really explain it. And I know people see it on TV, but it's so different to be in that arena and to experience it live. And that's where this team specifically, like this iteration of the Memphis Grizzlies, fits so perfect because they're just like a stupid, fun young team. They don't know any better. And so it fits that mold perfectly. And we've seen it all year, and now it's just elevated into this. And you give a young team just like a smidgen of confidence, and there's no telling what they could do.
I mean, you've got to be the most confident team in the whole wide world waking up this morning after that debacle or whatever that was from the Warriors standpoint. Anyways, you've gotten to see you have a front row seat. Like, you see Ja Morant. You get to hear him, watch him, do everything he does. For those of us who haven't been able to be up close and personal, is he, like, who is he? Is he that much fun? Are we going to get duped? Is this all an act? Like, what is he?
You're not getting duped. Like, in this situation, first of all, he has that extra mentality. Like, that's where the word superstar, we want to throw it around so recklessly sometimes. But for someone like Ja Morant, he sits in that space of, one of my coworkers described it perfectly this morning. Like, he's one of those players, like, similar to a Kobe, where a loss hurts more than a win feels good. And so He sits in that space. Like, no one hates being out more than Ja Morant, which is such a cliche. You're going to say that about any player who's a leader and an all-star in the playoffs, but he really embodies it. But then you also see how much he loves his team, and he's out there. He's got the joggles on. He's always the first one off the bench. He's always the first one. He will fight you on social media if you come at this team, especially if you're from Memphis, and he'll tell you, if you're going to step on the other side, like, you stay on the other side because you're going to ride and die for this team in the same way that I am. But then in terms of his play, I mean, truly, like, working on the radio is impossible with Ja Morant because the things that he physically does with his body, you can't describe them. Like, that you're paint a picture with your words. No, you can't. He's Ja Morant. Like, his body just, it moves in ways, the dunks that he throws down, there's no better way to say, like, hey, I'm sorry, I would love to describe this to you, but you're going to have to go on social media and find the highlights for yourself. Like,
I can only say that I could say that was awesome so many times in one game. I got to come up with
pull out the thesaurus. Like, wow.
I said them. Like, it's too much. I heard a lot of talking heads of various, either former players or just straight up talking heads or whatever. And there seems to be this sort of fight that's going on between them about what Ja has to do next as far as preserving his body. He has to change the way he plays, seems to be the one thing I keep hearing, which he's still a young man. No one's going to try to tell Ja Morant that. Like, and if they do, my goodness, you're taking away such a gift from the rest of us. Has anyone mentioned that there in Memphis? Like, is he going to have to change something because he's so damn athletic that he's going to always be hurt? Yeah,
there's always a little bit. Sometimes I sit in the space of like, oh, this is what it feels to be a mother or a parent, because every time he hits the ground, I'm like, gasp. And there's just a collective feeling. And that's just the kind of player he is. But then he pops back up and you're like, does he have flubber? Is he Gumby? Is he human? I don't know what he is. Is he the Terminator? There's just like endless references that you can make with this kid. And that's where, it is scary because you have a situation now where it stinks. He's not playing and he's out with this bone bruise on his right knee. And you don't want those to collectively age him eventually, because this is a player that you want to be watching for as long as humanly possible. So maybe someday there's a time where he can't dunk on everyone's face. He can choose like one or two a season. Like, pick your guys, pick who you want to put on a poster, go for that, but not always being as aggressive. But then you say that and it's like, well, how can you suck the fun out of Ja Morant? Like, that's what he does. So it sits in kind of a funky place.
It is very rare to see this, like, the star of a team who is out. I mean, we saw it during the regular season, and he was so supportive, and that was very rare to see. I mean, there are some stars that if they're hurt, they don't even travel. They don't do anything. And he wasn't just on the bench there cheering them on. But I saw that too. Like, he was defending them on Twitter. And what a great situation to be in as Ja Morant, that okay, I can afford to miss a few games because my team picks me up. And then I think on the other side of that, you have the Sixers, where Joel Embiid's having a night. I mean, everything hurts. He's getting whacked in the face again, whatever. And you'd like to think that the other parts of that team would step it up. James Harden, I'm looking exactly at you. And they don't. I hope everyone in Memphis realizes, like, this is such a rare, beautiful thing to watch. And it would be fun to be a fan of this team because that's the way it's supposed to be. Does everyone know that other teams don't have it like that? Like, you just have a bunch of superstars with egos that don't seem to get along.
Yeah, and Taylor Jenkins said it after the game last night. He was like, we deep. And it's so simple, but it's so true. Like, we deep, you have everything. And even in a situation where you're watching, and I hate injuries, period. So you're watching the Warriors now have to adjust without Gary Payton II. Last night, Otto Porter Jr. doesn't play the second half. What that means, he's been like a rebounding monster for them and was a huge reason why they won that boards battle in the first 4 games. But for the Grizzlies, it's constantly the next man up mentality. And again, it goes back to these cliches that Taylor Jenkins is constantly throwing out. Everybody eats. We don't need to do more. We need to be better. Next man up. And they just embrace it. Like when Dylan Brooks is out, okay, we're going to bring Zaire Williams, the rookie who was supposed to be a project, who's now coming out here. He drinks like 800 gallons of water a day. So he's hydrated and he's ready to go. And he comes out and has big moments. And DeAnthony Melton will step up. Brandon Clark has been tremendous for this group. And after he struggled in the first 4 games of this series, finally his floaters start to fall last night. And then even Steven Adams, like somebody who is basically deemed unplayable in the first round against the Timberwolves. And then he gets COVID. And then he has to come back from COVID. And then he comes in and he's just out here gobbling rebounds again and setting screens like he wants to destroy your soul with his body. But it's just like up and down the roster. It's remarkable to see how willing and able every single player is to embrace whatever role they need on any given night. And like it's life. There's always going to be egos. But this group seems so bought into the system that they're just so confident in it, they almost don't even care.
Do they hear the, not chants, but the talk, the sort of whispering on the outside of, yeah, Memphis was awesome this year. They were so much fun to watch. They did everything they were supposed to do, but this just won't be the year because they're just too young. Do they hear that?
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing that's, while we were trying to deem when this team truly believed in themselves as a contender for the first time. And I think if you even go back to, they started the year 9-10. They lose Ja Morant in a game against the Atlanta Hawks where they get blown out. And it just, again, it felt like the city took a nosedive in their expectations for this season. And instead, collectively, they come together. Jaren Jackson Jr. takes a step forward in his career. And I think he's on his way to becoming one of the best two-way players in the league and is a defensive anchor for this group. And just everybody buys in. Tyus Jones is your backup point guard. He had 9 assists and 0 turnovers. That's what, I mean, he leads the NBA in assist to turnover ratio. Like, that's all you can ask for. And people will be like, oh, you're crazy. Tyus Jones, because we always say in Memphis, oh, he could start on, name a team, list some teams that need a starting point guard. And they're like, Tyus Jones, he's a backup. No, he's not. Go watch that game last night. Like, that steadying presence. So it's almost like that blind optimism of their youth kind of prevents them from listening to what everyone else is saying. But we all were young once. Like, you get cocky. You have a little bit of arrogance. You have a little bit of swag. It works.
It's sometimes I think it's the best space to be in because you don't have to hear all that other stuff. The other guys have all the pressure. There's been a little bit of a trend this season in some of the other playoffs and series, and I think, well, I love it. Personally, I hate hugging, and I hate hugging especially between opponents. And we have reached this like ridiculous level of sort of, I don't even know what to call it. It's just so bleh, where everybody's hugs during, before, after the games. And I'm seeing less and less of it. And I don't know, a lot of it's like, it's the Giannis, it's the Luka. Like, they don't seem to really have any time or desire for any of the buddy BS that seems to go on in a lot of other situations. Can this be a new trend? Can we go back to the old school where, hey, maybe you guys are friends like in the off season, but we don't want to ever see that. And these guys aren't giving us that. If anything, they're going above and beyond to let us know they are not friends. Can we have this? Is this happening, please?
Think how much we could all accomplish if we didn't have to do the BS. We didn't have to do small talk. Like, I don't need to talk to you about the weather. I know it's hot. I experience it every single day. We don't have to go there. But I love it. I mean, that's what basketball is all about. Like, there's a level of respect, and you can get into that. But at the end of the day, it's competition. That's where, even though the conversations that popped off in the beginning of this series with the Warriors and the Grizzlies, there's also still an element of the theater in it. Like, Draymond Green is one of the best instigators. The Grizzlies have Dylan Brooks, and I know Dylan Brooks would take that play back if he could on GP2. He said it. It wasn't intentional whatsoever. But then you also have Dylan Brooks, who embraces the role of being Dylan the villain. Like, my guy walks into game 4, and he shot himself out of game 4, but he's wearing the Cure on his shirt. He's like, I am the Cure. This is who I am. Like, it's all of those little extra things that make this so much more fun. So I don't think you have to get caught up in the necessity of pleasantries anymore, which is so refreshing.
No, and I love it. I think there was one point, I don't even remember who it might have been Jaylen Brown Giannis moment the other day. And it was just very clear. Neither one was interested in the other one helping them up. Neither one. It was
Yes.
just rolling of the eye,
Like,
like
bye.
and I got so happy. It just, my heart sang. I was like, this is what I want out of my sports. I don't care if your best friend's off the field. I don't want to see it. Save it for, tomorrow. Like, whatever. Are you? As I know you're like in this thing, full Memphis Golden State. Are there other series that you're interested in? Does anything else has piqued your interest at all?
So intrigued. I mean, Bucks Celtics. It's like, what are you going to do? We're trying to prep for the pregame show yesterday, and our game is going on, and you're watching Drew Holiday make that play, and you're watching Giannis once again establish himself as the best player in the world right now. It's just so intriguing because the Celtics defense is one of those things where you're like, am I giving it too much credit? Am I not giving it enough credit? Where is this going to sit on any given night? But that series is so much fun. The other two, everything has felt in a space of like fluidity throughout all of this, and for both of those games with the Heat winning by 30 plus and then the Suns winning by 30 plus, it kind of sucks some of that energy out of it, but I'm still interested. Like, I love, when you talk about players not liking each other, I love watching Luka and Devin Booker go at it, because I don't think they're friends off the court either. Like, they just straight up don't like each other. So it gives you that little extra drama, but there's nothing better than Bucks Celtics right now, and I hate that they're being played. If we could like call the NBA and make them change up the schedule so that we could just enjoy one of those games, not on a Grizzlies game day, that'd be great.
That's true, because the ending of those, and they've been good. Like, that was a good one last night. You're basically ready to go in the air. Yeah, that kind of sucks, actually. I didn't think about that for you. I'm bummed out that Embiid's not a 100% Embiid in that series, because I had zero expectation from Harden, and it looks like we're all going to be right on that one again. And I really am pulling for the upset. I want Dallas to just figure something out. Look, I live in a world where I don't want Chris Paul to ever have a ring. So if that means the Mavericks have to be the ones, or you guys whoever has to be the ones to kill that dream, I'm 100% here for all of it. Okay, I love the Memphis Grizzlies. I love watching them play. Personally, like, they've knocked the Spurs out of a couple playoffs over the course of the years that were painful. I think it was like the 1-8 was not the good one. But they are the most fun to watch. So I'm enjoying the series. I've never seen anything like I saw last night, not from a team like the Golden State Warriors in that capacity. Like, that, the city must be riding high this morning, and what a fun time to be there, I would imagine. We're taking a break, though, because when we get back, other crap has been happening around the world, believe it or not. I find it hard to believe. And we'll be joined by Paige, possibly Gabe, if he feels like it. We'll find out. Small businesses are ready to thrive again and looking for resources to rise to the challenge. That's why Dell Technologies has assembled an all-star lineup of podcasters for the third year in a row to create a virtual conference to share advice and inspiration for small businesses. Whether you're still working remotely or back together again, let Dell Technologies help safeguard your business with modern devices and Windows 11 Pro. Search Dell Technologies Small Business Podference at Odyssey.com, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts starting May 10th. With spring in the air, it's a time of renewal and growth, personally and professionally. As your small business grows, LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile and spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Beadle. That's linkedin.com/Beadle to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Welcome back. We got Paige and Gabe joining us. It's a special, and I think we should do all the time edition of What Else Did We Miss Today? Jessica's going to help me out because I think there's a lot. Who's starting? Gabe, you? Yeah, you.
Yeah. This is kind of like an insider, like, industry story. Like, I'm actually not sure that this got any mainstream coverage. So I'm sorry. And Jess, you're new to the gang here, so I don't mean to bore you with like some boring industry speak. But there's a guy, it's a broadcast kind of thing.
Oh.
There's this guy, he played quarterback for a few years. He's pretty good. He just signed a future, in air quotes, future deal with Fox. A 10-year, $375 million reported deal to start broadcasting kind of whenever he feels like it, I guess. Tom Brady is going to be the next big shot broadcaster for Fox Sports with their NFL coverage. He's replacing, of course, Troy Aikman.
And the
What do
GDP
you
of like
guys think of
17
that?
nations also, but go on.
Yeah.
Like,
And of course, this is when he retires, which
that is.
who knows? So anyway, you guys have fun with that.
Okay, great. Jess, what would you do with $375 million whenever you felt like it?
I wouldn't work. I would stop working. I would retire happily and find an island. I feel this news has been out for days, and my eye still like involuntarily twitched when I heard that number.
Oh, this cut through? You heard? I thought this was just
No,
like in
well,
the trades.
we subscribe to some insider magazines, so we get like some we get updates.
Smart.
It's I don't understand math. Right, fine. Make that the tease to every podcast we do from here on out. I don't understand math because I've never heard the dude say anything that I went, man, that was provocative. B, how the hell do you pay? I hope everybody else in all of these, and by the way, this isn't just a Fox thing for me. This is everybody because ESPN chalked up a bunch of coin to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I'm sure Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit are not going to be scrapping together government cheese on their new deals from Amazon. Like, we are paying massive amounts of money to the people who call these games. Oh, I'm sorry. Tony Romo was the OG in this realm. And for what? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I have never watched a game, football specifically, and said to myself, who's calling this one? I better turn over to no, I watch Red Zone 99% of the time. How does this pay out? Like, I don't get it. Every person at these companies that's not these guys, either you unionize if you're not already and you all walk out, or you better get some raises because that is asinine. $375 million for a dude who hasn't even ever done that job yet. God, I hope he sucks. I hope he sucks so bad that they have to regret this for the rest of their... I hope he's boring-ass Tom Brady, who's like, I'm never going to tell you guys anything interesting or honest, and $375 million worth of bore. Please, Jesus of sports.
I am also a Red Zone watcher, so I'm with you there, and I also suck at math. So both of those things are incredible. So much so that I thought I was buying a normal water bottle. I kid you not. And I ended up with this, the size of my face, because I didn't understand what the liter system was. That said, before I worked for the Grizzlies, I worked in the world of local TV news. And there are a lot of like dudes and dudettes who want to do that play-by-play analyst life. And I think about how sad they are making like $35,000, still trying to cut their teeth. And they look at a deal like that, and it just has to be the most depressing thing in the world to think, Tom Brady stole my job in 10 years. It's not even right now. 10 years. Like, it could be 10 years now. It could be next year. It could be never. Who knows?
Also, if you're Buccaneers fans, how are you feeling about this news? Because that just seems like the writing's on the wall there. And secondly, like he's going to make more money yapping once a week for 17 weeks than he will have done for the 400 years that he's played football. Hey, Scott Hansen, I don't know who your agent is, but you better get his ass on the phone with about 300 people, because if you're not making $375 million plus $1 by the end of this thing, your agent should be fired. Period. I'll be your agent. Scott Hansen's the real hero here, and he's the real one that's getting pooped on.
Can I say one positive thing?
What?
I have one positive. First of all, I think it's really brave of both of you to admit that you don't know how math works.
Thank you, Paige Peach. We know.
Peach. But I want to say one positive thing, okay? Look, we're never going to be free of Brady, but hear me out. It's kind of genius to just have a job that starts whenever you want after your current job that you're in.
It's brilliant. No, it is absolutely brilliant. I don't know who his agents are.
If anyone wants to give me a job that starts whenever I want, and pays me that much money and guarantees me employment for 10 years,
you don't even have to pay me.
I'll take offers.
Pay me $100 million. I'll do it for $100 million. That's the kind of bargain I'm willing to cut for someone right now. When I feel like it, I will take that job for $100 million.
What does Giselle think? Because Giselle's the breadwinner. Like, she makes more money than he makes.
No,
he's
not anymore.
She doesn't care.
That was all part of the plan, wasn't it? I'd leave his ass because I'd be like, nope, I want to be the breadwinner. Now you're overpowering me and I don't like it. I'm out. Also, who's he going to call him with? Do we even know that yet?
Yeah, Kevin Burkhardt.
Oh, Kevin's fine. Who cares? God, it's about the game. What are we doing? I want the refs to get raises. I want everybody who works in the stadiums to get raises. Every other person should be getting a raise before you hand Tom Brady $375 million. I hate to sound like some sort of hippie right now, but that's where we are. Like, this is bullshit.
All right, our guy Sam Howell, this is important information for us to consider. He recently revealed that he only eats chicken, mostly tenders and nuggets, and has never tried a steak or a burger, and also doesn't eat seafood. This kid is 21 years old.
No. Has he been in a prison this whole time? Was he being held hostage? Why is this even happening? Who are his
I don't
parents?
know. What I found most interesting was that this didn't come out pre-draft, because this seems like something that various pre-draft shows could have done 2 to 3 episodes on.
I love tenders. Like, I love chicken tenders more than I love most things in life.
Fair
but
enough.
if I'm at a steakhouse, I would be humiliated to order chicken tenders over a steak.
Over the age of 8, yeah, I do believe you should.
Okay, maybe over the age of 14. Like, give some grace.
Fine, I'll give it. Maybe he's a little slower than the other kids. Right. I don't know. But, like, no seafood, no steak, no burger? Like, fine. You never had a steak or seafood? I don't know. Maybe that's a family thing. But a burger is on par with chicken tenders. It's just better. But who is this like, I'm worried for him. I don't think I could ever be friends with him. I know that for a fact.
No. I have a bigger issue with not even trying. Just try.
I hate people that don't try.
That's literally what they say to, like, toddlers. Just try it.
Yeah, try it once. You never
Here
have to
comes
do it
the
again.
airplane.
Yeah.
Yawn.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
All right, speaking of more NBA stuff, this comes from SI's Howard Beck, who let us all know that NBA players have put at least $95,000 in the proverbial swear jar this year in fines, which is more than any season in the last 2 decades. Partially to do with FCC rules around, language and press conference and stuff, but also the NBA, I think head of league operations said it has to do with like a decorum of the league. So what I want to know from you two is how the fuck do we feel about that?
I fucking hate it. It's fucking stupid.
It's the fucking worst.
Yeah, fuck that.
I think we all just were free to say what we want to say when it comes to the words that we use in the swear jar. Life would be better.
You. My mouth, my choice. Fuck off.
Game broadcasts would be better. Maybe I'd watch Tom Brady if he could swear.
Oh,
I don't know.
If he swears for that $375 million, count me in. But he ain't gonna, because he's boring.
That's right.
You all right, Gabe? Oh, I'm sorry. Are your sensitive ears
my
bleeding
mouth, my
over
choice.
there?
I think I lost him.
That did break me. Let me ask you guys this real question, because Jessica and Beadle, you've spent a lot of time around NBA players. You've spent a lot of time around the crews that cover the NBA.
Yeah.
You know how it works. Here's my guess. There's more microphones. There's more access. We're getting into places we never got before. They've always been cursing like pirates.
Right.
This is nothing new.
Yeah.
Watch the friggin', Showtime Lakers show on HBO. These guys curse. It's just that the microphones pick it up now.
Yeah.
Because we're eager to hear
It's
them.
a little, I wonder what it is per,
I don't know, though.
Like, are there tiers to the charges? Like, is F the worst and then boom, boom, boom? Or is it all just one, $10? I don't even know what it is.
Collective.
$1,000.
It's thousands of dollars. Yeah, it can be like $25,000. Like, it's quite a lot.
It's like Jeopardy. You can
we
pick
know
your
who-
price.
But I don't think it has to do with
Yeah.
microphones, Gabe. I don't think it's access, because
Why?
we've had media access. Like, it's a lot of press conference stuff. It's not like they're picking it up on like a hot mic in the locker room. This is guys coming
this
to
is
talk
the
to press
accidental-
and say like,
Okay.
fuck that shit or whatever. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Oh, this is specifically when they're sitting down talking? This has nothing to do with
It's not just like on the court.
being
Yeah.
caught on mic?
Luca's had a couple of
Oh,
those.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of, all right.
Oh, that is wild.
I mean, again, we're so sensitive. Good Lord. They're just words.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know.
But I thought I misunderstood the whole
If
story.
I had a swear
missed
jar in my
this one,
life,
too.
I wouldn't even be able to buy a house. I wouldn't even be able to buy meals. I'd be like, Mom, all my money's in a swear jar somewhere in the world. Oh, well.
It was one of the weirdest things when I moved to the South. Men would always apologize for swearing in front of me, like when I first moved here.
Because you're
I
mixed
was like,
company, JB. It's mixed company.
That's freaking weird. Like, what are you doing? And then you start thinking, you're like, shoot, do I need to adjust my entire language? Like, what the heck?
No, you do not. No, you do not. People are sensitive. But that's good. 95,000. What's that go to? Anything good?
Probably not.
Silver's
Here's an
worth it?
example,
Okay,
Gabe.
good. Just-
In April, feisty Timberwolves veteran Patrick Beverly, who we all love,
Ooh.
was docked $30,000 for a dual infraction, first boasting, again, to reporters, "I fucking told y'all," on the night Minnesota made the playoffs.
That was
Yeah.
30 grand. But then 95 doesn't seem like that much. If 30 is right off the pop there, like for one.
Yeah.
So that's like 4 swear words
Still,
they caught. Huh. Should
at
be higher.
least 95K.
Yeah, if it's like 8 mil. Okay, fine. But that's still lame. What are we, 4?
Rudy Gobert in a live TV interview dismissed team skeptics with the terse "fuck the talk." I mean, this is great. More cursing.
First of all, that could have been a language. That could have been lost in translation. We don't even know if that's what he said.
Generous, but okay.
That's rude. Okay, fair enough. What else?
All right. I'm going into this one blind, so let's
Great.
go. Oh, no, I'm not. I know this story. I pray you guys have not seen this so we can get an honest reaction. The mayor of Dallas tweeted out a pitch for a second NFL team in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He said, quote, "Why? We're about to pass the Chicago Metro and become the number 3 metro in the U.S., which would make us the largest without 2 teams. Football is king here. Dallas needs an expansion team. And we would be able to sustain 2 better than L.A. or New York." So I don't know why he's taking shots at L.A. and New York, because right there in his own city, no one wants this.
Right?
This is a terrible idea. Is this the worst idea you've ever heard from a politician?
Oh, well,
No.
that list is long. But that's a weird timing on that one, Gabe. But
Nothing bad going on in the news. I don't know why you guys are reacting that way.
But that is abso-freaking. Who is this Mayor McDallas person that thinks this is a good idea? First of all, football's the most expensive thing to pull off and to put on. Your team's not even that good, so maybe we concentrate and put all of our eggs in that basket for a second. And also LA and New York have had those 2 teams. I'm not really sure. Your original comparison was to Chicago, and Chicago doesn't have 2 football teams. So I'm not really sure what you want another baseball team or something? Maybe we can talk about that. But like that's pointless. And I almost want it to happen so that it goes down as the worst thing a Dallas politician's ever done for the city. In a way, I'd like the chaos.
High bar.
Yeah.
Team Chaos. Jerry Jones can own both of them.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Go for
He'll
it.
definitely live forever then. No, I want this now. I've decided I want it. The Cowboys and the what's? Oh, too many inappropriate things and politically incorrect. We're not going to do that.
Well,
all right, fair enough.
Like some stories in the news, I think there's a little bit of the dog who caught the car here. I say let him have it.
Yeah.
Let him have
Fail.
it, and then live with the consequences, you idiots.
Multi-billion-dollar fail. I'm in. Now, would they get a new stadium? Because see, that's where you bury yourself. If you do another stadium and taxpayers even put 1 penny towards it and then it fails. Oh God, no. I mean, Kara lives in Dallas. She's saying no right here on the thing. So for that, we're going to say yes.
I was going to say, our producer Kara is editing our rundown that we're all looking at, just with a lot of capital N's and O's.
I gotta tell you, I know you've all spent time there. Like the Dallas Fort Worth, to all of us from the rest of America, we're like, yeah, whatever. That's like the same thing. That's like Manhattan and Brooklyn, like big deal. It's the same city. No, not if you're from that area. That is not the same thing. Don't you dare say it is. So maybe they're thinking this should be on like the Fort Worth end.
Like the
of
Fort
things.
Worth cattle herders or something.
I don't know. Because this is the mayor of Dallas popping off. He's just saying the metro area.
I think this is an awful idea, and for that reason alone, I really want it to happen. Genuinely want this now. I wonder if I can help campaign. This mayor sounds brilliant.
Yeah. Noted Texan. You can let them know you were recently
Yeah,
awarded at your high school.
that's right. I'm one of Bernie High School's somethings. So
You're the
Top-
come on.
no,
don't.
there's like 20 of us. Thank you very much. I'm just part of this year's crop. Shut up. What's next?
Jessica,
Distinguished
you're-
alumni.
You're
that's it. That's
you're
it.
around
That's
greatness.
it. Distinguished alumni. I couldn't think of any of those words.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. It's made me who I am today. Let's be honest. You guys are idiots. All right. What's next?
All right. Last one before we take a break. So a passenger, I think this happened yesterday. A passenger is in, I think it's like a 5 or 6 seater, small plane. The pilot becomes incoherent, incapacitated, is no longer conscious. Passenger hops on the old radio and lets him know that the pilot is down and he has no idea how to fly the plane. It's an incredible video if you watch it, but I was curious, do you, Beadle, I know how you feel about planes, but do you think in that scenario you could stay calm enough to get the plane on the ground, which, by the way, this man did flawlessly. So kudos to him.
So for me personally, I'm not getting on that plane. Secondly, if I had to get on that plane, that's a 2 to 3 Xanax pop. And so, no, there's
You're
no
also
chance I could land that plane.
incapacitated.
I'm already incapacitated.
Okay.
I'm incapacitated watching this. But it is beautiful. I mean, look how many movies where they just talk them through landing a 777. It doesn't seem like it's that hard.
Sorry, 777?
I'm sorry, snakes on a plane? That thing didn't land itself. Thank you very much.
Just the casualness of 777.
Did you watch Yellow Jackets by any chance?
No, I want to, though. That's the cannibal one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Little cannibal, little plane crash. Mix them all together. But one of the girls like takes a Xanax or something and she's knocked out. And next thing you know, you wake up and you're like looking out the window and there's just trees. And that's my worst nightmare.
But that's actually my best nightmare because I don't want to be awake for the crash.
I think
She
could
woke
do
up
it.
before it crashed.
Oh,
Yeah.
but she was still Xannied, right? Like, so her reaction was more of a
she's probably
Xanny
okay.
Yeah, so that's fine because you're like, whoa,
She's
what's going
tired.
on? Like,
Just tired. Take a
do
little
you
nap.
think you could land that plane? Because that's a little
Yeah.
plane, so I don't know, maybe. You
I think
you
I could do it.
You could.
Both of
You have
y'all?
no faith.
Nah, no chance.
Okay.
Do you guys ever play? I'm about to trigger half the group here, and this, Jessica, this could be the end of a really, really nice time knowing you. Did you guys ever play the Nintendo game Top Gun and try to land on the deck? in
Yeah,
Top
actually,
Gun?
yes.
It's very, very hard to do, and that was just Nintendo.
Wait a minute. Didn't the old Top Gun also have the fuel plane that you had to get up right next to the jet and like connect the fuel hose?
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
Yep,
you
I
had to,
remember
that
all
was a part of the
Yeah,
game.
Old school.
Yeah, it was difficult. I forgot though. Who was
Page.
Who was in
yeah.
it?
Beadle? Help me out. Who was in?
Yeah, Top Gun. So Top Gun Page is a film, a cinematic masterpiece from the 80s that starred, who was it again?
I can't remember. It's like it doesn't trigger
Tom
immediately a name.
Cruise.
He
that
went
comes
on to
mind.
do some other things.
Jumped on a
I
couch.
think so. He was.
Yeah, it's like, shit.
Jessica, did you know that there's a new Top Gun coming out in 2 weeks, hitting
Did
theaters?
you know this is the third time in the last 2 weeks that I've had a conversation about Top Gun?
Oh,
my God.
well, if you want, I can text you every day about it because
That
that's
she
all I
said.
think about.
What was the nature of the other two
Yeah, good or bad?
conversations about? Top Gun?
One was with a group of people who were definitively not going to go see the new Top Gun, but then realized they had never even seen the first Top Gun. And then my fiance he's been very excited for the new Top Gun for
He sounds
for
like
minute.
a smart
Oh,
man.
great.
He wants to get
I
his
like him.
aviators.
I
He
like
played the Nintendo game.
He wants to get his aviator.
Which category are you in? Are you with him or are you with those other idiots?
Can I play like middle ground Tom
No.
Cruise Switzerland?
No more
Situation?
Switzerland's.
Okay,
Switzerland's
I
no
will.
longer.
I will be going to see because happy spouse, happy house, and he's a giant Golden State Warriors fan, and we have somehow made it through the series thus far.
Wow.
And so I will not risk it all for not going to see Top Gun Maverick with him after.
Especially if your team pulls off this amazingness. Oh, you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff to make him happy. No, I'm sorry about that.
We're getting married in July, so we just gotta make it there. Too many deposits have been put down.
That's fair. That's what spells happy wedding, happy marriage than too many deposits put down. Can't call it off now.
How you show your love.
Okay, wait. So we're taking a break. We come back. Paige, you have a whopper for us to end it on, yeah?
Sure do.
What are you watching tonight? With Sling TV, there's a world of entertainment at your fingertips. The only question is, what will you choose? Sports? Yep. Sling has live sports, college and professional basketball and football, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, racing, and more. But let's say you're more of a reality TV person. With Sling, you can get your daily dose of gossip with the hottest reality shows on channels like TLC, Bravo, MTV, and more. Or maybe you're looking for breaking news. Stream live broadcasts from MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, and other popular channels with Sling. There's also thousands of movies and shows on demand that you can pick from. Me? I like to put on a channel I love, like, Comedy Central, ID, Food Network, and just let it play all day. There's no end to the entertainment you'll find on Sling. It's easy to set up and easy to use. You can stream on any device, and you can record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. We are back. We're about to wrap things up. JB, Jessica Benson, Gabe Page here. We're doing a special edition Awesome edition of What Else Did I Miss? And we're going to end it on what page?
So I came across this last night on TikTok. We actually never talked about this original one on the pod, I don't think, which was the question of, are there more wheels or doors in the world?
Oh, no.
Okay. We didn't discuss it on the podcast. We're not going to redo it. The moment for this is over. But there's a new version of this, which is, are there more eyes or legs in the world? Okay.
Okay, first that's spiders.
Broke my brain.
So that's
But what about
lots
potatoes?
of legs.
Potatoes have eyes.
I mean, centipedes. Shit ton of legs.
Hundreds.
Do octopus
How many things
count
have
as
multiple
legs?
eyes?
Yeah,
Sure.
do tentacles fit into the leg?
Yeah.
Sphere?
Is that a
Sure.
leg?
We'll say yes.
Do little do they have to be working eyes, or can they be like googly eyes that you get in a bag?
It's a great point.
Right.
But
I was going to ask, are these living?
yeah, are they workable
Like,
eyes?
Are we getting cute with the meaning of eyes and legs? Like, are legs of a chair counted?
Oh,
Hadn't
that's good.
considered that.
But you know what? Almost every other animal on the planet has more than us. So that's already like multiple legs. But most of them have only 2 eyes. I think it's legs,
I think it has to be
Has to
legs.
right?
How is there? I don't even understand how there's an argument for the eyes.
There's got to be a catch. What has
But I
to-
said this about wheels and doors, and then it broke my
know.
brain, so I don't want to go
I know.
there.
Let me just say, I mean, luckily, thank God, there aren't like millions and billions of snakes in the world, but every snake is hurting our leg.
Fish.
and eels.
Fish.
Fish have 2 eyes.
Do butterflies
Fish,
have? No,
fuck,
butterflies have
fish,
little
fish, guys, fish.
fish. The entire ocean is full of only eyes.
Holy
We
fuck!
just
it's
forgot
eyes
about the
everywhere.
ocean entirely.
Holy shit, you're right. See, this is how they
Not
get
just
you.
oceans.
That is so dumb.
Fucking 2/3 of the planet is water. Nothing in there has legs.
Well, not
What
nothing.
do we do?
Some
So
things
is it
have
back
Crabs
to
have
eyes?
legs.
That's true.
Crabs have legs, but
Crustaceans
they
have
also have
legs.
eyes, and
But
I
for
think
something
some
like
of them have multiple
a
eyes.
centipede that has like however many legs, like does that number of legs and that number of bugs like that outnumber the fish
Yeah.
with the eyes?
Well, I can tell you I caught like an 8-inch centipede thing the other day, and it had about 4,000 legs.
Right.
No, I did not like it. I did not care for it at all. Now I'm back to, now is it eyes? I feel like maybe we're back to eyes. See, this is how they do. This is how they make you just shove your head into a freaking wall. Because I think it's eye. Now I think it's eyes. Because the fish, you're right. The ocean
I couldn't
is
fall
like
asleep last night thinking about this.
ginormous. And almost everything in the ocean has no legs.
Can't believe we forgot about the ocean.
I can't believe we forgot the ocean.
Jessica,
So vast.
I,
We only have the Mississippi River in Memphis, so like it makes sense that I forgot.
But
about
nobody in there
Also
has legs.
fish in there.
Yeah. But alligators and crocodiles, and they have
it.
legs.
Legs.
Okay, all
Birds
of
have
African
legs.
wildlife. Yeah, birds. See, the birds thing is
But I
good.
feel
That
like-
helps us.
I feel like 2 legs, 2 eyes. That's a lot of That's canceling each other out.
I'm going to
You
do a spreadsheet today, I think, and I'm going to just go down
All right.
all the animals and start, because I think we're missing something. There's something obvious we're missing.
I'd like to propose an idea.
Okay.
Jessica, if this is really for you. And if you don't want to do this, I understand. We don't know each other well yet. I would like to propose that after the series ends with Golden State and the Grizzlies, let's just say that it goes Golden State's way. And you are, in the situation where you need to talk to some of the players on the Grizzlies about wrapping things up. I think you should go up to them and say, listen, I know difficult time, and I have a tough question for you. Does the world have more eyes or legs?
Yes.
Just go
Just
right up
do
to
it.
one of them and just see what happens. And then I think you're going to go super viral
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
I
and you're
think
gonna
the
help
person
this out.
to ask is Steven Adams.
100%.
He's very thoughtful.
Yes.
And he might swear a little
Do
bit
it.
too, so we can
Kiwi
like throw
king.
some money in the
That's
swear
okay.
jar on the exit interviews and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And yeah,
He would be great. He comes from a land of many creatures.
it's true.
They
Oh
got
my
all
God,
the
his
creatures.
perspective would be so valuable.
Yeah. Perspective, international
Yeah.
perspective on this.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm 100% in on Steven Adams just being the final answer on this question. I will accept whatever he says as fact. Done. We all agree on that?
I love it.
Absolutely.
Fine.
I think this is a great if people want to call in or send us texts and let us know your thoughts, and actually more importantly your rationale. Don't just give us an answer. Tell us why.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah, that
What's
in
that number
our
page?
Our petty pyramid, and answer to more eyes or legs. Please call or text 631-397-0403. How's that?
JB, Jessica Benson, you have been a delight.
Yes.
Hopefully we don't talk to you again for a while because you guys continue on in this. Even though I put money on Golden State back in November, I don't actually care about the money. I really want the story. So yeah, I hope you guys go on as long as possible. And if it's you who needs to knock out the Phoenix Suns, then I bestow that power upon you.
We will gladly take that torch here in Memphis. Please, everyone, come visit Memphis. You can go to the Bass Pro Pyramid. I always try to make sure anyone who doesn't know this city, it's a great city. Come visit. That's my cell.
There it is. There it is. City Council right there, ladies and gentlemen. Jessica Benson, guys, this was awesome. I hope you'll come back. Well, no, you two will come back. You have to. So I'm not really excited about that.
Yeah.
But Jessica, I hope Jessica will come back. We will be back when we're back. See y'all.